see if this works. Let me see. Let me see. Okay, let me see if I can be heard. Sorry for the delay, everybody. Okay. I am extremely beautiful. I am worthy of love, joy, and success. I am getting healthier and happier every day. I love my body. I am magnetic. I always get what I desire. I attract success, money, and opportunities. I am rich in all areas of my life. Okay, I just had to check the sound real quick. Okay. So, I want to apologize for the technical difficulties if you noticed there were any. But we were supposed to start at 7:22, but this is my first time trying to go live in multiple places at once. Okay? So, um bear with me, everybody. It's actually not my first time trying. I lied. I tried last week. But it didn't go as well as I would have liked it to go. But we're here and I'm grateful. And I thank you all for tuning in to Live and Be Great with Latonya. Okay? Um, Again, hello everyone. And welcome to today's live. If you are new here, again, I'm Latonya McDonald, a spiritual psychological life coach, former therapist. I help people understand themselves and their relationships using psychology, astrology, human design, numerology, and my intuitive gift of insight. Today, we're going to dive into something deep. How trauma shapes our relationships and what we can do to break the cycle. Let me know in the comments whether you're watching this on a live, whether you're watching this on the replay. Let me know in the comments. Have you ever noticed past experiences affecting... Uh-oh. Hold on. I got an issue. Just a moment. My TikTok live stopped. Why'd you stop, TikTok? For why? Okay, let me clear out of this since you're not working anyways. Close all windows here. Thank you guys for being so patient with me. Okay, just not? Okay, it looks like it's still up. I can't tell. Okay, well, they'll get the replay. They'll get the replay. Apologize to anybody who is experiencing technical difficulties. Okay. No sound detected. Okay, okay. Dang, TikTok is like, y'all, they don't want me to go live nowhere else. But they don't want me to go live anywhere else. But darn, on their platform. Okay, hold on. Turn these off or down. Okay, I'll do that. So if it interrupts again, I just ignore it. Okay. Like I was saying, let me know in the comments if you've ever noticed that past experiences have been affecting how you show up in your relationships. Maybe certain triggers, fears, or patterns keep repeating. Okay? If you can relate, drop a purple heart in the comment section. All right? Do that for me. So trauma isn't just about extreme events, y'all. It's anything that left an emotional wound, whether it's childhood neglect, betrayal, or toxic relationships. Trauma shapes the way we attach, communicate, and even trust. Now, common signs of unresolved trauma in relationships. You have the fear of abandonment or rejection, pushing people away before they can hurt you, attracting emotionally unavailable partners or friends, people pleasing to feel worthy of love, or struggling with trust or overthinking interactions. Now, I've personally experienced this in my own life. Looking back, I see how, certain friendship betrayals and family wounds made me hesitant to open up or made me hyper aware of people's energies shifting. Right? I know y'all can relate. Even if you haven't noticed it. But when it comes to the friends that we choose, right? Or even the relationships that we choose, it usually does have something to do with what we may feel like we have lacked, right? What we feel we may be lacking in our family relationships. I say all the time that our parents, our siblings, they're our first example of love. So oftentimes people will normalize certain relationship patterns, and they may attract some of the same, or they may act the same way, right? Or they may try to avoid it at all costs. If you even look like my sibling or my mom or my dad or whoever, based off of the trauma that I experienced in that relationship, I'm going to avoid you at all cost. I don't know if anybody listening is part of a group, whether it be a sorority, fraternity, work, um, whether you don't work, if you don't work for yourself or whatever the case may be, um, any sort of group dynamic, right? These fears of repeating the same patterns, these fears of how that trauma may have affected you, it shapes the way you react and how you show up, right? So, truth of the matter is, we can't change what we don't acknowledge. If we keep blaming others or calling it bad luck, we miss the chance to break the cycle. Self awareness helps us recognize why we're drawn to certain people, why we react the way we do, what we actually need to feel safe and loved in relationships. If you journal, right, you probably need to start. If you struggle with breaking toxic patterns, or if you may struggle with self-awareness, how you notice, for those of us who aren't self-aware, may have heard the term, people will let you know. You'll keep attracting the same reactions from people, right? And the truth of the matter, yes, no, they can't all be wrong. They can't all be wrong. Not saying that if they feel as though, say for instance, you're cold, you're not affectionate, right? Not to say that you should give that to everybody, but if it's people that you care about, people in your circle, noticing that about you, 9 times out of 10, that's probably what you're giving off. Okay? But back to what I was saying. If you journal, which everyone should start doing, okay? If you haven't or if you stopped, it's very, very helpful. Think about a past situation where you felt triggered or hurt. What does that moment reveal about your unmet needs or fears? Drop a fire if this resonates. And people who like to make fun of you when they see you are triggered. Sidebar, that's not your friend. Sidebar, right? If you've done that to someone, they're not going to feel safe in that relationship at all. Okay? And I know that is yeah, saying that you're triggered is actually a trigger word. I don't know how else to say it, right? It is a jab. And sometimes when we're frustrated, we say certain things out of anger, when we don't like how what we're doing is affecting someone else's behavior towards us, right? I get that. Okay. That makes sense, right? But watch your language, all right? If you really care about somebody, number one, if this has been done to you, it's important that you're aware of what triggers you, right? And if this hasn't been done to you and you've said that to somebody, please believe they don't feel safe around you. They just don't. Like, that can cause them to go back into that space to where they feel like they have to withdraw, they have to retreat because it's not safe. It's no longer safe for them. Okay? Now, interesting enough, through my own journey, I was able to find out that astrology helps us understand our emotional needs and love language, right? For example, my big three: I'm a Pisces sun, I'm a Cancer moon, and a Scorpio rising. So I'm all water. My emotions run deep, and that is not an understatement at all. And I've had to learn how to create boundaries instead of absorbing other people's pain. Your moon sign, your Venus sign, and even seventh house placements reveal a lot about your relationship patterns. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, okay, if you've never done an astrology chart, it's probably a good idea to do one. Go to astro.com, right? Click on extended chart. No, click on charts and calculations, then click on extended chart. Yes, you must know your birth time. So everybody who's born in America, I don't know what other country shows the birth time off top. I really couldn't tell you because I know mine didn't. My birth time was not on my birth certificate. So I asked my mom, right? Luckily, she remembers. She has a good memory about these things. But you need your birth time, right? So that these placements can be accurate when you're doing your chart. If you don't know, if you don't have access to it, like I said, number one, it should be, if you're American, it should be on your birth certificate. If not, there's certain things that people can do to try to guess the placements. Ironically enough, based off of what you've gone through. Okay, if you're honest with the person doing your chart about certain events that have happened in your life and when they've happened, they can kind of guess what time you were born, right? Now, there is another study called Human Design and Connection Styles, right? I'm a manifesting generator. I move fast, but not everyone does, right? Understanding your type helps you navigate friendships and love dynamics in a way that honors your energy. So, me being a manifesting generator, that ADHD that I got, okay, that anxiety, right? It fits perfectly with this energy type, right? There are, I want to say, 4 or 5 energy types when you look at human design. So Google human design. Those websites can give you a free chart, right? And you can sort of research what your energy type is. So people, they do need to be used to me multitasking, okay? Yes, I will sit there and I'll watch a movie. Actually, not necessarily a movie. Let's not say a movie. I'll watch a series, right? And if I know what their voices sound like, I'm going to be playing a game on my phone. I have to be multitasking at all times. And me finding out that, hey, this is a part of me, this is how I'm made, when I looked at my human design chart, it was extremely, extremely helpful. And I'm sorry, guys, I haven't figured out how to look at all these different chats. So right now, I cannot respond to your chat right now, okay? But if you comment below, I'll be sure to get to you after I'm done with this video, after it's posted, okay? Because that's just how I am, okay? I'm a multitasker, I'm a procrastinator, okay? I do all the things. I'm still great at my job, but self-awareness is key. So I know what my strengths are, and by going through these different charts, these things that I'm talking about, that I will continue to teach you all about, I promise you, it will help change your life, transform your life. If you can understand yourself, you can give yourself grace. And if you can give yourself grace, you can give other people grace. Okay? Now, when we go back to psychology, right? My master's in counseling psychology and trauma healing, from a psychological standpoint, healing trauma isn't about fixing yourself. Ooh, that's a big one, right? You thought it was about that. But it's not necessarily. It's about reprogramming your nervous system, creating safety, and forming new beliefs about love and trust. All right? During my marriage and family therapy psychology master's program, I had never cried so much in my entire life. Okay? Never so much in my entire life. I made it a point to go through the process, look at the dark parts of me, my trauma, the generational curses, my relationships, friendships as well, right? Workplace relationships as well. All of that, no matter whether it was good, bad, or ugly. I wanted to be able to do the things that I would be asking my clients to do in the future once I got my degree and I was in the field practicing. Okay? I kind of wish that it was more normalized. It's starting to become more normalized now to work on your trauma. But man, it is so helpful if you go through this process before you have a child, before you get in a serious relationship. So helpful to understand who you are, to learn how to retell those stories in a way that they empower you and don't break you down or make you feel unsafe or make you feel like you have to avoid anybody that got the same scent. They may not necessarily be the same person or the same trigger, right? Or carry the same toxic traits, but a whiff of any of it can make you be very, very, very distrustful, right? And feel misunderstood and unappreciated and not loved like all the time if you don't go through that process. Okay? So I want to encourage some reflection. I want to ask you, have you ever looked at your chart and thought, wow, that explains so much about how I love? Let me know in the chat, right? Because I'm sure some of you, because it's getting more and more popular in this age of Aquarius where people are wanting to get more knowledge, wanting to hold people accountable, wanting to go and look for the truth in this space, in this day and time, as to why you're seeing all of so many fave celebrities or people in the public eye reach a certain downfall. Okay, you could be even seeing that in your church. You could be seeing that at work, where people are being held accountable. Right? This is the time where people can no longer ignore what they see or ignore bad behavior. Right? So it's a lot of people. I know I'm not just the only one. I know I'm not the only black woman or a black woman that used to be a Christian, right? Still believe in God. But we'll talk about that on another on another episode. But I'm just saying, those of you who know what I'm talking about when you look at that chart, please comment below and help encourage the other people to look for themselves, right? So The main thing is that relationships are a mirror. And the more compassion we bring to ourselves and others, the more we create healthy, fulfilling connections. Okay? Now, before we go, remember you are not your trauma. You are healing. Okay? Drop some stars, some celestial emojis if you're committed to breaking cycles and building better relationships. Okay? Follow me for more insights on self-awareness and relationships. Now, if you need to book a personal session, you want some personal guidance and accountability or reading, go to my website, liveandbegreat.com. Right? Let me know in the comments what stood out to you the most from today's live. I love hearing your thoughts. I promise you I do. While you're getting to know me, you know, I'm trying not to be so long-winded, and I am definitely going to dive into more personal relationships as I continue to grow and embark on this journey. I'm doing a whole rebranding, for my business, for the things that I want to share, I want to help people with based off of my own experiences, but also my own healing. And trust and believe, everything I share is stuff that I've gone through myself or I've helped somebody else through. All right, so I'm never going to tell you anything. Anytime you see me, whether you're working with me personally or you're viewing my content or you're doing a course or whatever the case may be, any interactions with who I am as a person, I'm never going to put you through something that I will never walk through myself. For what? It's unnecessary. I don't like being fake because karma is real and I ain't got time. I really don't. I really do not have the time for that. But yeah, again, let me know in the comments what you still have questions about, if anything, when it comes to how trauma affects your relationships. Do your chart, do your astrology chart, do your human design chart, do your numerology chart, right? Whatever it is, do it. It's going to be helpful. I promise you that. And I kind of wish, oh my gosh, like the reason why I wish more people knew about the trauma in relationships is, I say it all the time, it's you you could not like something about somebody, right? And it have nothing to do with everything they have to offer you. But because you're triggered and you haven't worked on that trigger or you haven't healed from that trigger, sometimes you don't even identify it as a trigger, right? You self-sabotage that relationship. You just do. Right? You become petty. It's not about, hey, don't leave the TV on at night because I need to sleep. Right? It's about, okay, well, why? Why does this bother? I know it's cliche. I know. Some people getting triggered right now. But that's just, I could use a better example than that. But I'm just saying, like, if it triggers you, you got to find out what that story is behind why it triggers you, is what I'm saying. That is important. And is it a necessary trigger? Is it something that you can work on? Right? So you don't self sabotage or ruin your relationships based off of certain things that are just pet peeves. So you're not taking it so personally. And also, if you can explain, you might be able to get your partner to, remember, because they have that story, they have that understanding. You took the time, instead of continuing to just yell at them or go off on them or start an argument, you took the time to explain. And hopefully, if you're in a positive relationship, right? Hopefully, if you're in a positive relationship, they would have corrected that behavior, right? And also, it can't be just you. Sometimes the conversation starts with you explaining yourself and why certain things trigger you, right? And then you giving them grace to speak on what triggers them as well. Maybe you need to say, hey, I noticed this particular thing triggers you, right? And don't use it as a get back situation. If you don't do the work on yourself, you're not self aware, that's going to be a constant argument. All right? So don't worry. We'll talk about it some more. You'll learn more. I'm here to help. Okay? So that is it for today's live. Again, I apologize for the technical difficulties. This is my first time trying to be successful with streaming to all the platforms that I am on with the social media thing. It is a struggle, right? But we here, okay? I'm a real person. That's how you know with these struggles. I have a real heart, and I'm going to keep going. I hope you keep going too, okay? Join me next Thursday at 7:22 p.m. Again, follow me on all the platforms that you see on the bottom of the screen. All right? Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy your weekend. And I'll see you next time.